Gene, security of proprietary information and customer data is obviously very important. And one of the antagonists in the book is John, the Chief Information Security Officer. And he is very dysfunctional on how he approaches security with DevOps and the business. Now, I'm guessing that your 13 years at Tripwire might have given you some ideas for this character, but what have you really seen as far as the dysfunction between the CISO and the rest of the team?
That's the reason why I laugh, right? Is that John, the Chief Information Security Officer, is not the antagonist. Right?
Okay.
In fact, he's part of the team, right?
In the beginning was before he shaved his head.
Right. A friend of mine, a fellow co-author, his name is Paul Love. We wrote a book together. He actually, during the review process of the book, he sent me an email that said, "I am so angry at you. Right? How dare you portray, the CISO as this shrill, hysterical person who's, been marginalized by the organization, who's sucking the will to live out of everybody he touches." It was actually a very big surprise because he's very much a kindred spirit. I didn't even get a chance to reply to him before I got a note the next day. He said, "Gosh, I just realized why I was so angry reading about this character, because that person was me 5 years ago." Right. So I think a friend of mine, Jez Humble, he wrote the continuous delivery book. He said the real Phoenix in the Phoenix Project is actually John, right? He transforms from this person who always says no, who is always trying to stop the organization from getting important work done, trying to complete instead his moral crusade, right, to secure the organization. That causes the entire organization to go around him. And I think that if we are hold up a mirror to our profession in information security, I think we all know what that feels like. When we feel like we are on this moral crusade where we feel powerless to change the outcomes.
You're on an island.
You're on an island, right? And you're all alone.
Right.
And where we see in the unicorns, where information security is viewed helping the organization win, is when they are truly integrated into the daily work of development and operations. And I think one of the best examples of this was at Twitter. So Twitter had a very famous security breach when the Barack Obama account was hacked. And what resulted from that was that they got an FTC injunction filed against them that said, "Thou shalt have an information security program for the next 25 years." Right. So the information security team at Twitter gave this presentation that I thought was one of the most magnificent presentations about InfoSec, where they're looking at the work ahead of them and said, how do we truly change how the code and the environments are being created? And one of the tools that they created, they would realize they could never wait till the end of the project to get their feedback in. And so they made the decision that they have to integrate into the daily work of development. And they wrote a tool called Brakeman that essentially whenever a developer commits code, they do a static code analysis to find things like cross-site scripting, SQL vulnerabilities, these things that resulted in the security breach. But they said that's not enough. And they showed a demo where when a developer hits save, they'll get an email from Brakeman saying, "Hey, we just noticed that you wrote some code that has this vulnerability. Click here to find out how to fix it."
Wow.
And so when they go and fix it and hit save, they get another email from Brakeman saying, "Thank you. Congratulations for fixing this vulnerability. Right? Could you please rate our advice from a scale of 1 to 5 stars?" So, in my mind, that was such an aha moment. There's no doubt in my mind that in 10 years, this is how all InfoSec work will be done. And probably all of testing, typically associated with QA testing. Because if we're not influencing the daily work of development, we're leaving it to the end. And we all know what happens when we leave testing till the end. There's just not enough time and we deploy anyway. So when this happens, information security becomes a true enabler and a daily coach that helps everybody achieve their goals, as opposed to the shrill, hysterical person trying to stop the moving train, never with good results.
Yeah. I definitely love how John transitioned to be this incredibly functional part of the team from the opposite before.